Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2, 3. Check, check.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to this special media briefing on the ongoing visit of the Honorable President of India to Algeria. And for that, I have the pleasure to introduce you, sitting on dais with me, Shri Arun Kumar Chaturvedi, Secretary CPV and OIA, Ministry of External Affairs, Dr. Swati Vijay Kulkarni, Ambassador of India to Algeria, Shri M. Suresh Kumar, Joint Secretary, WANA, Ministry of External Affairs, and Srimati Navika Gupta, Deputy Press Secretary to the President of India. With this brief introduction, now I would like to request Secretary CPV and OIA to brief the media on the visit. Sir.
Thank you, Rajesh. A very good evening to all of you. Namaskar and Assalamu Alaikum to all our friends from the media. As you all know, the Honorable President of India is on a 3-day state visit to Algeria, and she would be departing for Mauritania tomorrow morning. So I thought that I will meet you and brief you on the visit as we just come towards the end of it. As you all know, the Honorable President is on a 3-nation state visit to Algeria, Mauritania, and Malawi. She arrived in Algiers on the evening of 13th October from New Delhi on the first leg of her visit. As a special gesture, President Abdelmajid Tebboune of Algeria received her at the airport and accorded her a ceremonial welcome. The importance accorded by the Algerian side to this visit can be ascertained from the fact that several Algerian ministers were also at the airport to welcome the Honorable President of India. This is the first ever visit by an Indian president to Algeria, and a visit at the level of the head of state and head of government from India to Algeria after nearly 4 decades. This is the first incoming visit of a head of state or head of government after President Tebboune assumed office in his 2nd term. The Honorable President of India is accompanied by Minister of State, Sri Sukant Majumdar, and Honorable Members of Parliament, Sri Mukesh Kumar Dalal and Sri Atul Garg on this state visit. besides an official delegation. Friends, to give you a bit of the context to this visit, India and Algeria share very warm and cordial relations. We supported each other's freedom movement and fight against colonialism. Both countries were part of and continue to be a part of the non-aligned movement and have been supportive of each other at bilateral and multilateral fora. Algeria is not only the largest country in Africa, but it is also one of the largest economies in Africa and in the Arab world. It continues to grow economically. It is uniquely placed at the gateway of Africa and also Europe. Between India and Algeria, there have been regular political level interactions. Recently, our External Affairs Minister met the Foreign Minister of Algeria at New York. We have significant economic and commercial cooperation. Our bilateral trade touched around $3 billion in the year 2019 before the COVID pandemic struck. However, it's satisfactory that the trade has once again picked up and is touched around $1.7 billion last year. The visit of the Honorable President to Algeria is expected to provide the necessary momentum to this relationship. Now let me inform you about the engagements that the Honorable President had during this visit. On the day of her arrival, that is on 13th October, the Honorable President addressed the members of the Indian community at Algiers in the evening at a reception which was hosted by our ambassador in Algeria. Speaking at the event, she commended the Indian community's positive contribution to further promote people-to-people relations between the two countries. She said that the Indian community, working in diverse projects in remote areas, are in a true sense the ambassadors of India. She appreciated Indian community's contribution in enhancing India's position, prestige and standing abroad, and for acting as a bridge, mediator, facilitator and advocacy group for taking forward India's interests in Algeria. The Honorable President wished the Indian community success and prosperity and expressed confidence that they would continue to work for the betterment of India-Algeria relations. Now coming to the second day of her visit, which was on 14th of October, she started first at Maqam-e-Chahed, where the Honorable President placed a wreath at the memorial in honor of the martyrs of Algeria's liberation movement. She was given a guided tour of the National Mujahid Museum, displaying the sacrifices of Algerian nationals during their freedom struggle. Thereafter, the Honorable President traveled to the El Muradia Palace for a bilateral meeting with His Excellency Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, the President of Algeria. She was given a ceremonial guard of honor at the palace. Both the leaders then had a bilateral meeting, which was very cordial and positive. They discussed issues of bilateral cooperation, regional and international issues of mutual interest. There was greater appreciation of each other's positions and convergence of views. After this bilateral tete-a-tete between both the presidents, there was a delegation-level talks. The two leaders discussed ways to strengthen and deepen India-Algeria bilateral relations across the political, economic, and commercial, as well as the people-to-people relations. Both sides expressed their keenness to engage in all areas of mutual cooperation and to take the partnership to a new level. The Honorable President has invited the President of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, to pay a visit to India, which has been graciously accepted. Thereafter, both the presidents addressed the media on the outcome of their meeting This was followed by a banquet hosted by President Tebboune at the People's Palace of Algeria in the honor of President of India. In the afternoon, the Honorable President addressed India-Algeria Economic Forum, which was co-hosted by the Algerian Economic Renewal Council and our Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. The Minister of Trade and Export Promotion of People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Tayeb Jitoni, and several other ministers, several business persons, champions of industry from Algeria, in addition to the business delegation from India, participated at this event. Speaking at this event, the Honorable President called for reinforcing the ongoing cooperation in energy, construction, automobiles, fertilizers, and pharmaceuticals, and also for identifying new trade and investment initiatives for a brighter future. The Honorable President encouraged Indian companies to remain engaged and invested in the opportunities that the Algerian economy offers. She highlighted the rapid strides India has made due to the political stability, policy predictability, and reform-oriented economic agenda that has ushered in an ease of doing business and invited Algerian companies to join the Make in India and Make for the World initiatives. You can have an access to her entire speech on our website. Thereafter, during the later part of the day, Honorable President received President of the Council of Nations of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Salah Goujil. They had discussions on the role of parliaments of our two countries that they can play to further strengthen our bilateral relations. Now I come to the engagements of today. The day started by the Honorable President of India paying floral tributes to former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on the occasion of his birth anniversary. Thereafter, the President visited the Science and Technology Pole at Sidi Abdullah. This institution is an example of India-Algeria collaboration constructed by one of the Indian companies, Shapurji Palonji, among others. Addressing the students at the institution, the Honorable President highlighted the importance of education for human development, social upliftment, and economic progress, and call on the students to dedicate their pursuit of knowledge for national development missions. She highlighted the rapid and transformational strides in the field of education in India and how the new education policy of 2020 focuses on fostering innovation, critical thinking, and entrepreneurship to prepare students for the future. The Honorable President was presented an honorary doctorate in political science by His Excellency Mr. Kamal Badari, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research of Algeria. After the receipt of the honorary doctorate, the Honorable President visited a seawater desalination project, the Roman ruins in Tipaza, and a mausoleum. At the Wilaya of Tipaza, the Governor of Tipaza, His Excellency Mr. Abu Bakr Sadiq Buseta, hosted a lunch at his residence in the honor of the President. Later in the day, the Honorable President inaugurated an India corner at the Hamma Garden at Shadada SI by planting saplings of Indian species plants. The visit continues because after this there will be a dinner which will be hosted in honor of the Honorable President by the Prime Minister of Algeria, His Excellency Mr. Nadir Larboui, here in this hotel itself. As you are aware, tomorrow the Honorable President will emplain for Mauritania for the second leg of the visit. Friends, I conclude here by saying that this historic visit by our President not only reinforces the long-standing friendship between India and Algeria, but also sets the stage for elevating our multifaceted partnership with Algeria to a higher level and to a next phase. I am concluding here and would be very happy to take a few questions from you. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I'm Ayusha from Algeria. Sir, I would like to know that there are reports in Algerian media that Algeria was not able to join BRICS because of the stand of India and lack of support from India in the last summit of BRICS in August 2023. So what is the stand of India on it, and what are the chances that Algeria can become a member of BRICS soon?
Okay. Any further? Any further questions?
मैं गिरीश इंसाना दूरदर्शन न्यूज से। सर, अल्जीरिया का दौरा करने वाली ये भारत की पहली राष्ट्राध्यक्ष हैं। इस यात्रा का क्या महत्व है और इसका भारत और अल्जीरिया के द्विपक्षीय संबंधों पर क्या प्रभाव पड़ेगा?
Any further? No.
So, I'm Amit Mukherjee from MEA India. So, one of the main focus of this visit has been economic development between the two countries and the furthering the economic ties. So, any tangible pact or agreement that has been reached to explore certain new sectors that were being discussed and talked about during the various address during the visit?
Okay, so let me come. पहले मैं ब्रिक्स में आने से पहले बायलैटरल इश्यूज पे बात कर लेता हूँ। चूँकि आपने पूछा कि इस विज़िट का महत्व क्या है, जैसे मैंने बताया अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कि ये हमारे देश से राष्ट्रपति जी का पहला विज़िट है। सो ये सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात इसी में है। और दूसरी बात ये है कि प्रेसिडेंट टेबून अभी अपना दूसरा कार्यकाल शुरू किए हैं और उनके दूसरे कार्यकाल के पहले हाई लेवल विजिट अगर है तो वो भारतवर्ष के प्रेसिडेंट जी का है। तो ये अपने आप में अगर अल्जीरिया के साइड से देखें तो ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण विजिट है और हमारे साइड से देखें तो ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण विजिट है। और इस विजिट के दौरान जैसे हमने बताया सारे द्विपक्षीय मसलों पर बातचीत हुई है और चाहे वो पॉलिटिकल मसले हो, आर्थिक मसले हो, इकोनॉमिक मसले हो, सब पे चर्चा हुई। और साथ साथ में जो ये इकोनॉमिक फोरम की मीटिंग हुई वो भी अपने आप में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है और उसमें अल्जीरियन लीडरशिप और हमारे माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया ने भी सबको एड्रेस किया। सो कल की मीटिंग ने एक नई शुरुआत दी है और हमें आशा है कि ये हमारे इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन को काफ़ी आगे ले जाएगा। जो क्षेत्रों में हम लोग अभी मैंने बताया जिसमें बातचीत हुई है वो सब क्षेत्र बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। और इस साल हम देख रहे हैं कि जो वाणिज्य का फिगर है वो अभी काफ़ी आगे बढ़ रहा है और हमें आशा है कि जो फिगर हम लोग कभी पहुंच गए थे 2019 में वो फिर से पा पाएंगे। और हम लोगों ने इन्वेस्टमेंट की तरफ भी ध्यान दिया है, तो कोशिश जारी रहेगी कि द्विपक्षीय इन्वेस्टमेंट भी चलता रहे। भारत से भी आए इन्वेस्टमेंट्स यहाँ पर, काफ़ी कंपनियाँ यहाँ काम कर रही हैं ऑलरेडी। तो हमें आशा है कि राष्ट्रपति जी के इस ऐतिहासिक विजिट से द्विपक्षीय आर्थिक और वाणिज्यिक संपर्कों को काफ़ी अच्छा प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा। ये पहला। The economic things that we talked about. No, we did not sign any pacts as such, but there is a desire, in fact, in both the countries and both between the business communities, that there is a huge untapped potential that can be exploited by both the sides, and that has actually given the momentum. This visit is expected to give the real momentum to the trade and economic cooperation as such. Plus, we are looking at greater people-to-people relationship and the cultural contacts between the two countries. So this is something which this visit is expected to take it further. And gradually we will be able to see as we will have greater exchanges between the two countries. Madam, coming to the issue of BRICS, as you know, the expansion of BRICS is a process which has started and it is going on. At this moment, the BRICS summit is expected to take place in a few days. So, if the matter of whether Algeria's membership issue will come up or not in the due course of time, that we will come to know once the BRICS process starts. And definitely, India supports Algeria's entry into BRICS. So this will happen only provided the issue of membership comes up at the Kazan summit, which will take place in the coming days. So it's a process. So let's see how it happens and how it progresses.
Good evening, sir. Governor from MEA. So there seems to be a tussle between Algeria and Morocco on the issue of Western Sahara. How is India looking to balance its bilateral relations with Algeria and Morocco?
Is that right? Okay. You see, India supports mutually acceptable solutions to the Western Sahara issues in accordance with the relevant UNSC resolutions. India also supports the UN Secretary General's personal envoy for Western Sahara and his efforts to advance the process. We hope that his efforts will result in resumption of the dialogue between all concerned parties and the ultimate resolution of the question of Western Sahara. India has very good relations with both Morocco and Algeria, and we remain committed to tap the full potential of bilateral relations between both our countries. So that's the stand that we have taken and we take.
I see no more requests for questions. So, with your permission, sir, I now conclude this special media briefing. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. And
Thank you. Okay, done. Thank you.
जाते हैं भाई।